Hi, I'm Pip Waller and this is Being Human, which is an exploration of what it means to be a person alive in a body with feelings, with a mind and with an energy body or spirit. So I want to talk today about why crying is good for you. Crying, it's like a natural process which we've got, an inbuilt natural process which we're all born with. Every human from every culture is born with the ability to cry. And it's not a random thing. We've got a lot of cultures have evolved in such a way that seem to suggest that it's better to not cry and that it's one of the things we grow as soon as possible. And people even try and stop babies from crying and make little children, suppress their tears. But why would we be born with this thing, this crying thing, if it's not something that we need to do? So it turns out that in our tears we can actually excrete some of the stress hormones some of those hormones that we produce when we're under stress, and those hormones are actually the mediators of a lot of the disease processes that come from long-term stress. They actually damage the body. It's like you could say they make the body overwork and create all sorts of illness over time. So ACTH, which is one of the stress hormones, which you'll remember if you've listened to a previous vlog about the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. That's where your hypothalamus of the brain tells the pituitary to release ACTH, which goes into the blood, and the ACTH goes to your adrenal cortex and tells the adrenal cortex to release cortisol into the blood. And cortisol is one of those baddies that actually it's a goodie. It protects us from stress, it makes us ready to deal with stress, but if it goes on and on and on without break, then it can create a lot of diseases. And actually also, if it goes on and on without break, our adrenal cortex just gets exhausted and can't really properly keep responding to stress in a good way. So to reduce cortisol is a key goal in the whole thing, stress control thing. We want to switch the parasympathetic nervous system on, switch the sympathetic off, and we want to reduce cortisol. Here's a great thing. The only place from your body that you can actually excrete, get out of your body, ACTH and some of the other stress hormones, without first your liver having to metabolize it, is in your tears. It literally, when you're stressed, you're upset and you cry, that hormone ACTH comes out whole in your tears. If it doesn't get to do that, if you feel like crying because you're stressed and you suppress it, which most of us have been, taught to do that from a very early age, and often we don't even know we're doing it, but sometimes we know, oh, I need to cry, and we're fighting it back. Every time you do that, what you're doing is you're making that hormone stay in the blood. Then as the blood passes through your liver, which is a very hard-working organ, the liver has to take that hormone out like it does every other hormone and every other drug, whether it's like hormones are like internal drugs or external drugs that you've taken or toxins, or it's got over 1,000 known functions, the liver. So that hard-working liver has to take the ACTH out of your blood, break it down, that's called metabolizing it, so it's no longer active. And then it's not going around in your blood having its action anymore, making you put cortisol in the blood. Actually, if you cry those tears, if you let those tears fall, the ACTH is in them. So you're directly releasing stress from your body. It's like, really, it's an excretory method, crying, you could say, if you want to be a bit sort of doctory and jargony about it. Actually, like peeing and pooing, they're also other ways to excrete, and sweating. Well, we don't say, we do learn to control our pee and our poo, and from when we're first born to, later on, we can control it so it comes out in a more convenient way. But we don't stop doing it altogether because quite simply, we'd die. So what we need to do is we need to reclaim our ability to cry. That's one of the crucial things that we can do to help our health and actually to help our whole society. We need to be relaxed about other people crying, and we need to let ourselves cry. Thank you for listening. I'm Pip Waller and this is Being Human.